What's up, Eagles Nation? Welcome back to the channel. It's your number one Eagles fan from Maryland. I'm Pablo Gary. You're now locked into Think Eagles. If this is your first time on the channel, appreciate you clicking on the video. Today, we're talking about Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman end of the year press conference, and a very interesting and very telling comment from Nick Sirianni as it relates to the Eagles offensive coordinator position that is currently open right now. And basically, I don't like what Nick Sirianni is saying here. So let me allow him to say what he's saying, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions and how I think this affects the Philadelphia Eagles and obviously affects Jalen Hurts.
Football team. I think also that you'll be able to get a lot of good candidates because the guys that have been here and when we've had a lot of success, three of them have been head coaches, off of our staff, which obviously I'm proud of. I'm sure Howie's proud of as well. So
I could stop it right there. So basically, Nick Sirianni is selling the Eagles offensive coordinator position, saying, hey, you come to Philadelphia, Brian Dable, you come to Philadelphia, Mike McDaniel. I know that you guys was fired by Miami and the Giants, but we can guarantee you, hey, you're going to have a great roster. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, all of that, even some guys we may draft, right? You'll have a great roster in the next year because we know you're going to have success with our roster. You'll be able to get a head coaching opportunity next year, guaranteed. And to me, this is a slap in the face to Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts' end of year press conference, he talked about how he wanted a home base for this offense. He talked about how he wanted more consistency. And this is going in a complete opposite direction to, for where Jalen Hurts wants to go. I remember coming up under an Andy Reid led team with the Eagles where Andy was with the Eagles for 20 plus years. He had Marty Morningwig as an offensive coordinator for 10 plus of those years. There was a level of consistency when you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles franchise. We have completely gotten away from that. We no longer have stability at the offensive coordinator position. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to affect Jalen Hurts one way or the other. And if I'm Jalen Hurts, honestly, the Eagles are going to have to pay extra. You're going to have to pay an extra tax, when you talk about me having to learn playbook after playbook, offseason after offseason, right? Because Jalen Hurts is, you can't even, I don't even know how you measure his development as a player when you consider all that he has to do with these playbooks. Like, I just really don't, because you got to understand, Doug Peterson wanted him to do a 3-step drop back a certain way. Shane Steichen wanted to see it a certain way. Frank Reich required it a certain way. Brian Johnson wanted to see it a certain way. KP wanted to see it a certain way. So I say that to say, how can Jalen Hurts truly develop? How can he truly become the best version of himself if he is constantly on the move with these play callers, with these playbooks? It's like he can't get any better. He'll have success for that 1 year with that one particular offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. And oh, by the way, Nick Sirianni, when he first was hired, was the offensive coordinator. So as a man, you're sitting here telling me you are proud that another man is able to, love you too, Dad. You are proud that another man is able to do your job better than you. You're actually saying that out loud. This franchise is going downhill, and we're going downhill fast. I like what the Giants did today. They hired John Harbaugh. You pair him up, with that young quarterback that they have over there, with that, I would say, elite defense that they have with the Giants, especially that front seven. They're going to have success. They're going to be right on our coattails. Like, the NFC is going to be challenging. Because I believe we're now, I think the last couple of years, you saw teams, winning the Super Bowl off of talent solely. The Eagles was one of them, right? You have Saquon Barkley rushing for over 2,000 yards. That's great. All right, Patrick Mahomes and what he did, that's great. But now you need coaching. You need coaching. And the Giants were smart. They said, you know what? We see an opportunity to get a great coach. 18 years with the Baltimore Ravens. Bring him to New York for 5 to see if he can't change our franchise. And the Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, all he can do is tell Jalen Hurts. There's a viral video out there where Jalen Hurts is like, I think it's off the HBO documentary, Hard Knocks, and Jalen Hurts was like, "Yeah, we'll be back." And Nick Sirianni says, "I know." Your head coach says, "I know we will be back." But when he was asked by media, why the offense couldn't get going this year, he says, "I don't know." So this is the foolishness that we're dealing with here in Philadelphia. You may not see it now. You may not hear the cracks and the leaks, right? But I'm telling you guys, this thing is about to come crashing down. Nick Sirianni should have been fired. He should have been fired. And obviously he's a puppet. He's a puppet with a roster. That's all he has been. That's all he will be. I'm not giving Nick Sirianni zero credit. I've listened to, some of you all. I tried to reason with you guys. I tried to see your perspective on Nick Sirianni. No. He is who I thought he is. And that was a very limited coach that needs a great roster, that needs a new offensive coordinator year in and year out to accomplish his goal. Without a great offensive coordinator, Nick Sirianni is nothing. And to me, Nick Sirianni's resume is paperweight. Everybody who you referred has failed. Everybody Nick Sirianni has had a hand on, Kevin Patulio, guys like that, they have failed. So I'm just letting you guys know. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you guys know what's coming. This thing is about to come crashing down. So you can enjoy next season and get blinded by the stats and the offense being back and all of that. But I'm telling you, it's going to next year may not look like this year, but the following year is going to feel how you feel right now, because we don't want to fix the problem. The Eagles have a glaring hole in our roof, and we refuse to fix it. We refuse to do anything about it. And honestly, if I'm Jalen Hurts, I might just request a trade. Jalen Hurts owes the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely nothing. He doesn't owe us anything. Jalen Hurts, he is set for the rest of his life. He is a Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP. He deserves to be with the team and the franchise that says, you know what, we want to build around you, not just with the players, but with the coaching. As long as the Philadelphia Eagles have this mentality where we're not going to, because Nick Sirianni talks about it all the time, sustained success. If I was a reporter, the question that I would ask Nick Sirianni is, how do you expect Jalen Hurts to have all of this sustained success and you guys don't give him stability at the offensive coordinator position? He has a new QB's coach every other year. He has a new offensive coordinator every year. He's had 10 to 12 different playbooks since entering the league. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So Nick Sirianni is proud that, the Eagles have an attractive role right now at the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's all that attractive. You got a wide receiver who's a diva. You got to, pay close attention to him. Got an aging running back in Saquon Barkley. Not saying that he doesn't have it anymore, but he's getting close to 30. You got an offensive line up and down. Your right tackle, Lane Johnson, he's about to retire. You're going to have replace him. There's going to be a rookie there. Cam Jurgens, he's regressing. I don't know if this Eagles – I don't know if the Eagles' offensive coordinator position is that attractive. But I will tell you this. What's not attractive is how the Philadelphia Eagles are going about this, how Nick Sirianni himself is going about this. Nick should have lost his job. We should have fired him, and everything that was attached to him. Everything that's attached to him fails. KP failed. He has to have something connected to him to be great. Now, I'm not saying any other coach, they can do it by themselves. But when I look at the job that Kyle Shanahan did to us, I look at the number that he did to us, dude, he came pretty close to doing it himself. And Nick Sirianni doesn't do half of what Kyle Shanahan does. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's extremely disappointing. It's upsetting because I know that this is not right. This is the wrong way for us to go. And yeah, I know how it's going to end. Unfortunately, Nick Sirianni is going to get fired at some point because ultimately, if you're a head coach, you're better than Nick Sirianni by default because you were a former head coach and you have a great offense that you bring with you. So you're better than him by default. So ego is going to get into play. Nick Sirianni, he's having chest beating matches with his wide receiver, with Jalen Carter. Ego. You're competing with the players to show them that, hey, you actually bring something to the table when you really don't. And you want Jalen Hurts to take a pay cut? I hope Jalen Hurts rips the Eagles and Howie Roseman for a new one. He's got it. I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to pay tax. You're going to pay Jalen Hurts tax. You want me to learn a new playbook every year? An extra $20 million. You don't got to pay me. I'll go somewhere else. Because the Eagles don't appreciate Jalen Hurts anyway. So it is what it is. This is unfortunate. He's still our head coach. I wish this was a dream. I wish I would have woke up to the Philadelphia Eagles have fired Nick Sirianni, and we just would have known that would have included KP as well and his entire staff. So yeah, man. That's just how I'm thinking about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll meet you guys there. Peace.